Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to discuss the evolution of the availability of cap nuts for what would be called the Segal SE80000. So the SE80000 Segal cylinder guard. It's Segal owned by Primeline, who is a name that is synonymous with a tremendous quantity of business names and a practically limitless number of parts that they supply. This is under their Defender security line now, this cylinder guard, but this would have been a Segal item once upon a time. And the paperwork from the manufacturer indicates cap nuts are available. And if you're not familiar with cap nuts, they're also known as acorn nuts at times. And if you use your imagination, you can see why they're called that. Well, we sold one of these to a client, and lo and behold, the packaging did not include cap nuts, and it escaped our review before it shipped. Contacted the manufacturer, who has indicated in November of 2017 that because and I feel there could have been a more elegant way to handle this, because the plate is designed to work on a variety of different door thicknesses, cap nuts would require either cutting the bolt down. That bolt length I'm showing you is about 2 7/16 overall length. Would require cutting the bolt down. If you've got certainly an 1 3/4 door, you'll have to cut that down. Or any door thickness other than probably 2 1/4. So what the manufacturer said, to allow this plate to work on any door thickness, they've basically eliminated the cap nut and then just now give you standard typical nuts. They're just typical, I believe that they're 1/4 20 nuts. The problem with that is every single installation on a door that's not 2 1/4, which is going to be the majority of installations, are going to have a projecting, unfinished bolt hanging off the face of the door. Projecting hardware, unnecessarily long projecting hardware, is a hazard, period. I expect that eventually they're going to have to find a different solution to excluding the cap nuts, because what will happen is, and I've seen this before, people will harm themselves on unprotected projecting hardware. An installation like this is going to permit someone to a child, to lean up against the door like this and just start to slide around and move, and before they realize it, that bolt's going to scratch them in the back. And if it's just that low level of a problem, okay. But I've been contacted by attorneys looking to ask historical questions about hardware because people have hurt themselves on projecting hardware. If you're sensing that I'm not happy about this, I'm not. I would certainly package with longer bolts or modified breakaway screws like they have on rim cylinders from Segal, Primeline, and then instruct via the installation instructions that it must be cut to allow or permit the installation of the cap nut to properly dress the head of the bolt off. So when I asked what happened to the cap nuts, quoting the response, this plate is designed to work on a number of different door thicknesses up to 2 1/8 inch thick. Probably work on 2 1/4. 2 1/8. To accommodate thinner doors. And then on to say, to accommodate thinner doors, one must cut the bolt length or leave them projecting. To anticipate the NYC, New York City, 2 to 2 1/4 inch thick doors, residential 1 3/4 and 1 3/8 would have required 16 different bolts. True. So if they were going to try to make one package and accommodate all of those different door thicknesses, they would have to ship 16 different length bolts. Well, 4 different length bolts, 4 of each 16 bolts. And they go on to state that we could never, of course, provide these cylinder guards with all of those bolts. So this video is to clearly state why you're not going to get cap nuts anymore, and that projecting bolts on your cylinder cannot be left that way. They must be mitigated. You can certainly install the material and then cut the bolt short so that when you tighten the nut down, you can keep the cut portion of the bolt under the head. And what I would recommend is you take the nut and spin it onto the bolt and then cut the bolt down and then unthread the nut. And as you're unthreading the nut, you're cleaning those threads so that you can more easily put the nut onto the cut bolt, or simply go purchase acorn nuts at a hardware store. They won't be gold, most likely, like the ones that would have come with this cylinder guard. But I'm being someone who works in the hardware industry, where hardware is meant to improve our lives, but do so in such a way that's not harmful, is problematic. The answer to you either have to cut the bolt or leave them projecting, or leave them projecting, or leave them projecting is not an answer, and that's just the bottom line. Understand when you're purchasing this, you're not getting any cap nuts, and have to work that separately. Now, given the fact that I cannot immediately off the top of my head attest as to how many of these cylinder type guards you're going to find, it's really not a big deal to cut the bolt down or to put cap nuts on that don't really match. And I personally, because this cylinder guard, with the fact that you can't gain access to the head of the cylinder at all, I find it such a good solution that I'm willing to contend with the fact that you're not going to get the proper hardware to do a safe installation. There you go. If you have any questions on the Segal SE80000 cylinder guard or any other Segal product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.